Good afternoon and welcome to the Entrepreneurs Live Show. I'm David Dorfling, your host, and this afternoon is going to be truly amazing. This afternoon we've got a guest that is so experienced. With more than 35 years of experience in the field, he is not just only a professional, he's not just one of the best coaches, but he is also one of the nicest people that you can ever speak to. I want to introduce to everybody Steven Levy. Welcome to the show.
Robert, thank you so much for that introduction and those very kind words. The best coach, there's a lot of coaches out there. I don't know if I'm the best coach, but I'm the best that I can be right now. And I try and work at that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
we're really happy to have you with us. So
thank you. And just for the record, the surname's Levy. If it was Levy, I wouldn't pay any.
Sorry for that. I'm Afrikaner. I make mistakes. Don't worry.
That's all right. Ek is 'n boerejood, so it's all right.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, Steven, I'm going to ask you this. I ask this to everybody. Who is Steven? Where do you come from? And what's happening with you?
Oh, okay. That's a lot to answer. So let me answer the simple ones first. I'm Steven Levy. Right now, I'm a global leaders and business coach, but I need to maybe just be a bit more specific. I coach in business. I don't coach your business because I don't know your business. I'm originally from Port Elizabeth in the Eastern Cape, born and bred, and still a very proud Port Elizabethan, even though it was a long time ago. And I hold it very dear to my heart. Right now, my practice that I have is Dare2Be, coaching and beyond.
Okay,
very specifically beyond, because it's always beyond, and we can chat about that later. Where am I right now? I'm probably, whilst a long way on a journey, because I'm 61 years old, I'm still very much at the, I don't know if I'm still a quarter way in my journey.
I love it.
To where I want to be. So maybe it just took me a long time to realize what I should be doing, because I actually stepped into my purpose at 54. So it was 6 years ago. Yeah.
That's quite awesome, man. Obviously, I'm checking out your logo. Like I said earlier, it draws my attention. So it says Dare2Be. Please explain to us, where does that come from?
Okay, thank you for asking it, because it's also something that's very special to me. The logo has a meaning. So Dare2Be was very much that part of the journey that I told you about, where I really realized, not found my purpose, maybe I just recognized it at that stage, that this is my purpose. And at 54 years old, I built up a good business in the textile industry. My own business had awesome people working with me in my business, but I realized that my love for what got me up in the morning was the people, just going to work and developing my people, going into my business, developing my people. And maybe it was just also at that stage, it was 2014, end of 2014. The textile industry was not in great shape, and I had taken a bit of a decline over the years. So I had to, then we were still building it. I'd been in it since 1991, but in my own business without partners since 2001. And the people that were with me was just awesome. And I had this strong calling, because some of the ladies that I developed in my business, they took over they were running the business. So it was enabled me to maybe follow this calling. And I was driving home one night and I just stopped in the middle of just pulled off the road, not in the middle of the road. And I thought, wow, I need to follow my purpose. I don't know what made me stop. I phoned a friend of mine, cut a long story short, we had a chat, we met, we had tea, had a chat, and he said to me after 2 hours, he said, you need to coach.
Oh, wow.
And my big block, though, I was 54. And that was my major block. I thought, I can't start another business or how can I start another business at 54? Start again. So I went for coaching because this was my block, and I went to see this wonderful woman, Dr. Martina Celis, and I mention her name because she was very prominent in what happened from there. But she asked me one question. She said, after listening to my story and my journey in my life, she said to me, wow, she said, and I had to dig deep. So that was also a challenge. It's not an easy place to go because you've got to face your own truths.
Yes.
And she said to me, listening to what you had to say, how good a coach would you have been at 25? And why do you not want to coach with the experience you have at 54? And that was the big turning point for me. It freed me up.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had to dare to step out of my comfort zone and start a new business, start again at 54.
Wow.
And
wow.
The first book, because I studied through her academy for 2 years, part-time, because I was still running my textile business, is the first, we could choose books to read in our certificate year, and then I did my diploma year. And the book that I chose was Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. And she's a big advocate of stepping into your vulnerability. And this is what I was doing. And that inspired me to, I actually had to dare to do that. And so that's where Dare to Be. I had to dare to be, and then the journey, digging deep, I had to dare to be me.
Wow. That's very deep.
Yeah. So, and then why coaching and beyond? Because does it ever stop? Does the journey ever stop? No, I think it's infinite. So we got to keep going beyond where we are. And that's why I said to you, I don't know where I can actually measure I am on my journey. Even though I'm 61, I'm probably still early in my journey and still a lot to learn. So we just keep going beyond it. The reason why I have I have the two circles, they're supposed to be in 3D.
I see
and
that.
why is that? Because in our journey, we can't just go wide. We need to go deep if we really want to.
Okay.
So there's depth in it, and then the two colors, the green and blue, are my insight colors. So I'm very much a green, blue. Those people who know about insights. So I'm very much about data. I'm quite structured, and I think the green is more. I'm calm but grounded.
That's quite awesome.
Sometimes,
I like that.
Sometimes I don't align to the colors. I'm not always grounded and calm.
Yeah, it's like you like blue and green, and sometimes you get like red, dark red. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not. If my wife is here, she'd probably confirm that.
That's awesome. And Steven, if I may ask you, obviously being a coach, like you say, you do business. You don't teach the people their business, but you teach your business. What is your line that you teach into? Is it management skills? Is it what kind of coaching do you do there? Because this is something that's very intriguing to me.
Okay, so I'll tell you, David, is that the reason why I'm in Dare2Be, okay, because from a young age, even at school, I always recognized that everybody has something unique to offer the world.
Yes.
I didn't probably realize how strong that was, because that is why I'm in business in this, and why I take to people so much, and why I love not helping. People don't need help. Why I guide and support them in discovering more of who they are.
Yes.
And then taking that into the world. I only realized that probably when I did on my own journey of self-discovery is where that really came out strongly for me. But I'd been doing it naturally since school, as I said to you, in business, in the textile industry. It wasn't about fashion, it was about the people. In fact, I'm the worst person when it comes to fashion. And my daughter keeps reminding me of that. When I was in the corporate industry in construction for 10 years, from 1980 to 1989, end of 89. And even then, the construction industry, while I enjoyed it, it was the people in the industry. How could we develop the teams to achieve the deadlines that we had to? So I might have got a bit lost here, but it's really about the people, and how can I developed. So my coaching is not coaching the business, it's coaching the people in the business. And can we find as leaders your uniqueness, where you're optimizing the full resource of your business that lies right inside your business.
Okay.
So sometimes we got to first look inside the box in order to think outside the box.
No, I like that.
Okay, and I choose to do that through in my coaching. So I coach in business and specifically leadership. So okay. And that's because I've had the privilege of being in leadership positions and various leadership positions. That was in sport, in the military, well, the military not really, in the corporate world and in my own business. And then being exposed also to, had the privilege of being exposed to different kinds of leaders that I dealt with, we were suppliers of in the big corporates like the Fashinis, Truworths, and Woolworths and so on. But in that, I discovered how influential leaders can be on the people's lives of those they lead, both personally and professionally.
Yes.
And my purpose is, and I recognize this in the world, and people might not agree with me, but it is my view, is that my purpose is to, I think there's people in the world, we're trying too much to make each other like ourselves. Instead of...
That's true.
And maybe my purpose is to inspire people, okay, to really show up, to be able to show up as who they are in their uniqueness, okay, and respect each other in our differences, but that safe is a safe space for us to show up as who we are. And I choose to do that through the conduit of leadership, because then I think then I can have an impact or influence on both business and people. So it's like killing two birds with one stone, because I have a passion about business as well and people in business.
Wow, that's like really awesome. Blown away, absolutely blown away. Steven, in your business, like with everybody, I know there's different products. Dare2Be, do you offer different products, different packages to your customers, or do you customize it according to the customer?
The latter. So in my business, and again, because of my journey, it is a journey.
Yes.
And so because of that, and for that reason, I don't coach a program, I coach a journey.
I like that.
But when I say it's not a journey that's all over the place, there is a framework within which I coach, but then I will go and discuss with my clients, be they or prospective clients, be they individuals or owners of businesses or leaders in business. We sit and discuss together, and that's very important. What is it they want?
Yes.
What is it? Where are they now relative to where they want to go?
Yes.
Okay, and then we design that journey together within the framework of my coaching, because we have to keep it. There has to be some structure in it. We can't. Otherwise, we're going to lose sight of where we're going. But probably the framework is that framework that they create. And then I will walk their journey with them, not for them.
That's it.
And my responsibility is to keep ensuring, because I believe they have the answers. It's not to advise them. They don't need advice. They've got the answers. But my responsibility is to keep them on track. And yes, if they're going off track, there might be a very good reason, and we check that. And then we come back on track. If there needs to be a detour, and so be it. But we keep needing to understand why.
Yeah, I strongly believe in it, that you're on this journey, and no journey will ever just be a flat road. It will be obstacles. There will be different things, and you need to be able to go around it, over it, on it. And yeah, so it's very true what you're saying. You need to adjust and refocus. Now, obviously, the next question is going to be, do you work mostly with people at the premises or online, or both?
Both, David. At the moment, more online, obviously, because of the circumstance we find ourselves in.
Yes.
I have been working on Zoom for about probably 2.5 years, where I opportunity to coach somebody here, a leader in South Africa of a big multinational company. And since then, it's spread out to coaching 6 of their leaders in 6 different countries.
Oh, wow.
So I did ask them if they would like me to, I love face-to-face, so I asked them if they'd like me to come over, but they didn't bite. So they said, no, you can do it on Zoom.
Unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately or fortunately, because I got in, and I come out of the industrial age, so I got into Zoom very quickly. And so when COVID hit, I was used to Zoom. I've just learned now more about it. So isn't that funny? We know, and I'm sure I can still learn more about Zoom. So that journey also doesn't end. We're always learning.
Yeah, that's the best thing. You know, technology always grows, and same with industries. You know, the most important part is Zoom is offering us the opportunity to connect with people anywhere, anytime, at any given place. You know, being in your coaching position, I'm sure you can be working from a coffee shop, you can be working from your home, wherever you want to do. So that's quite awesome.
Yeah, it does afford me those opportunities. I don't think I'd coach from a coffee shop because unless there was no one else there, because I have to respect the privacy of my clients, and the confidentiality of them.
Oh,
and the big thing is, and the big thing is, David, as I said, we all need to create a safe space to show up as who they are. I need to, as a coach, create a safe space for my clients to actually be who they are and to express themselves as much as they can, because the journey is about them, not about me.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's absolutely beautiful. Now, Steven, I want to ask you this. If you can give the listeners and the viewers some advice, what would that be and why will you give it to them?
Give them some advice. Wow. I would say to them, be sure to take time to discover your purpose. You don't find it, but take time to discover it, because there's so much power in purpose, no matter what you do. And that's got nothing to do with your age, with your race, with your religion, with your gender. It's got nothing. If you need to have something to get out of bed for in the morning.
Yes.
Okay. I had, and I have, a strong purpose. I only realized the power of it during COVID. Because when COVID hit, I did like everybody else, I suppose, or like most people, I went into a spin, it hits me too. People ask me, they said, but it's okay, you coach on Zoom. I said, yes, but I coach businesses and the businesses are closed, so I don't have clients to coach. And that bothered me that weekend. But then the Monday morning I got up and I thought, hold on, you can't sit here. It is what it is, and I don't have control over it. So what am I going to do? And I don't know what made me do this, but I typed my purpose into my phone, the one that I told you. So I want to inspire people to respect each other and the differences and show up as who they are in a safe space. And I typed that into my phone and I looked at it every night and every morning. And I thought, what are you going to do today that adds value and that aligns to your purpose?
Yes.
Not about generating revenue. What are you going to do? And I learned a lot from that. I learned how to communicate more on the social media platforms, especially LinkedIn.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. Really.
And I think it's a little bit of, so whilst that engagement that I had didn't generate revenue then, I'm feeling the effects of it 6 or 7 months later, where I have interacted with people and I have got coaching through it, and I'm actually busy working with someone in Sweden that there's a possibility of the coaching coming through. And that was just me engaging. It wasn't an expectation of it was just engaging. That was connecting. So maybe I've just been more connected in isolation, which is strange. Eh?
It is, eh? It is. I've found it to be like that. I thought myself, being in the marketing industry and everything that's changed, how will people react to it? And I found that now in this specific time, people are more open to the digital age, which I'm happy for, because I believe in everything being digital. So yes, I can relate to that. That's true what you're saying. Now, Steven, before we go, I want you to share your contact details with us. because I feel people need to connect with you. I feel there's going to be people that's going to listen and see and hear what you're saying, and they're going to need to be able to contact you. So whatever details you feel like sharing, if it's a smoke signal that you want or an email that you want, anything that you want, please share it with us. And what we'll do is we'll take it, pop it down here, and ensure that people connect with you.
Okay, can I ask you something? I know that we restricted time, but I've left out some turning points in my journey that I would like to share with you. May I?
You may. The floor is yours.
Okay, I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible, but they were very important to what informed me as a coach. So
okay.
I want to start off saying that I don't have a story where I came from nothing and built me into something, okay, because I admire those people. I came actually I was brought up in a good home and actually very privileged to have a good education and great opportunities open to me that many didn't have access to. So yeah, I came probably from a privileged background, and I don't for 1 minute feel bad about this, but I rather sit in gratitude of it.
Yes.
And was my journey to where I'm sitting right now an easy or smooth one? No, not at all. I learned so much. I went through burnout, not once, twice. I went through depression once. We spoke earlier when we were off about trust, so I'll tell you that story. But a lot of my learning came from those parts of my journey. My dad went through troubled times in his business where I was doing my military service, and then I was earning like 145 Rand a month, and I sent him 100 Rand a month and kept 45 for myself. So that taught me about how we need to support each other. And that was part of my journey. And I think also in the military, I learned about leadership. So I wasn't one, even at school, I always challenged the status quo if it didn't make sense to me. I often wonder, what is the status quo? So what is the norm? The norm is set. What is the norm? I don't know. But the norm is something that probably makes sense to each one of us, logical sense. And if it didn't make logical sense, I'd question it. And in the military, I questioned a lot of things that got me into trouble. Okay, not because they were right, because they could. So that was authoritative leadership.
Yes.
Okay, so I ran a lot, but it helped me. But it did help me. There was a positive output to that because it helped. I got very fit, and because I did middle distance and cross country at school, yes. I then ran the Comrades Marathon 10 years later in 1986, and there I had sport. I took a lot from sport into business, and this is what informs me as a coach. Team sports, when I played rugby, that taught me that everybody, there were some naturally skilled people and some people who weren't naturally skilled, but everybody contributed to their team, because I was one of the grafters. I wouldn't have natural ball skills, but the guys with the natural ball skills couldn't do anything unless I went to fetch the ball for them.
Yes, yes.
So their skills counted for nothing unless we were all together. And I couldn't do anything. We wouldn't score tries if I didn't have those guys with the ball skills to pass the ball to. So I took that into business with me and in my coaching. The individual sports taught me that we can push ourselves beyond the limits that we actually believe we can. And especially the comrades, it taught me about having a vision. So I couldn't see that. I had never been in comrades or seen the finish line in Durban. But I knew from pictures and my visualization what I wanted to do. And then it taught me about the importance of having a vision, because that's what guides you. We were talking about going off course. So everything I had to check. Does this contribute to the vision? My goal was to run the Comrades in under 7.5 hours. It was my first Comrades, so it was quite a tough one, and I didn't know whether I'd achieve it, but I then took that out of my mind and I said, you know what, whatever training you do, you've got to give yourself the best possible chance of achieving it.
Yes.
Because on the day, it doesn't matter how prepared and fit you are, you don't know in 7 hours what can happen. So there's no guarantee that you're going to get it. So it taught me about believing in what you're doing and then not living in the vision, but focusing on the process and how do you get there.
Correct.
As you go through each step, if it's contributing to your vision, it gives you a higher probability of achieving it. It taught me about sacrifice. And then when I ran the comrades, I had a little card in my pocket. And I wrote down on this card what time I had to be at every kilometer if I wanted to achieve. So I could see it was a measure. Was I in or out? Was I running too fast? Was I running too slowly? And it taught me, so I took that into business. We have to measure ourselves all the time, and we need to focus on the process and how we're getting to that vision. So, and then I'm proud to say, and this is like really stepping out of my comfort, because you're probably one of the few people I've told this to, I did finish it in 7 hours, 25 minutes and 9 seconds.
Oh, wow.
So I got my silver, but it taught me a lot, and I was so thankful for that. And yeah, I don't like to talk about it too much, but my wife keeps pushing me. I only took my medal out of our kiss.
Yes, you have to.
I only hung my medal up in my bar about 4 months ago.
Wow.
And that was I got it in 1986. So
that was
I learned. Yeah, I'm a quick decision maker. So, those people who are looking for coaches that make quick decisions, I'm probably the wrong guy. No, I'm only kidding.
But that's good.
It was a big learning from the military. And then I was in business in the textile industry with some people that I was in kind of a partnership with them, but they were the most really dishonest people I've ever met. And we had just bought a house in Cape Town, my wife and I, our first house in Cape Town. And that was 1998, 99. And my kids were at primary school then. And I just couldn't work. They were so dishonest. Obviously, I can't mention names, but what that taught me, eventually I walked out of there and I got home. My wife said, "What are you doing at home?" And I said, "I can't work with people. They're putting my name down in the industry. They're lying to our customers." She said, "What are we going to do? We've just bought our house and our kids are at school." I said, "Well, we'll have to sell the house. I won't compromise on their education because it's something that's of high value to me, even though I'm not an academic." And I said, "We'll sell the house and we'll make a plan." And then I sold and smoked everything until I started up again in the industry on my own. And the lesson that I got out of that is how important our core values are to us. Because you get to a stage where you get these tough decisions, and how do you know which is the right one? Well,
correct, yes.
The right one is the one that aligns to your core values. And my values at that stage were not for sale.
Excellent.
So that I just wanted to share. I think the purpose and loving what I do is I've told you about already. I told you about my why. So I'm just and I think that's and then I had the privilege of, as I said to you, I'm not academic, but I wasn't. If it wasn't for sport, I probably wouldn't have been at school. Not because I'm deaf, it just didn't interest me.
Yes.
And much to my parents' disgust, but it didn't. But I learned so much from sport that I took into
awesome.
business. But I did happen to be enrolled at the university that we all enrolled in, and that's the University of Life. And you know what I loved about it, and what I do still love about it, because we all honorary life members, is that if you fail, they don't kick you out.
No.
But they teach you flippin' hard lessons, and they will keep teaching those lessons until you learn.
Yes.
And that's an awesome university to be at.
Absolutely.
My kind of university. And that's what informs me on my coaching, David. So I don't coach from a book. I learned a lot at the academy about coaching that I studied at. And obviously, I do a lot of research on leadership and that, because it interests me, and I need to keep up to date because the world's changing so fast. I need to keep up to date with what's happening in business and how can leaders be at their performance optimum to optimize the resource in the business. So yeah, I had to. And then in a business, what's important, that foundation I was talking about that we need in our lives. A business also needs a solid foundation, and that's their culture. And the culture I've learned over the last sort of 2-3 years is so important to a business, Because if your foundation's not strong, your structure will crack.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's something we have to reference back to, because that culture is made up of your purpose, your vision, and most importantly, your values of the organization.
Absolutely.
So when we hit those unexpected challenges, we have something to reference back to in terms of making decisions and how do we move forward towards our vision. And one thing I will guarantee people is that we will encounter challenges every step of the way in our business.
Correct.
But the one thing our competitors cannot copy from us, with enough resource, they can copy our products and everything. The one thing they cannot copy is our culture, because that's unique to each business.
Absolutely, man. That's great. That's awesome.
So sorry, I took up your time there.
No. That's awesome. I'm glad to share it, my friend. I'm glad to share it.
So, and that was a long answer into how people can contact me.
That's a long.
And I haven't even answered that. So David, they can contact me on. Must I give you my email address?
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay. Do I type it into the chat box?
No. What we'll do is you can share it. We'll take it. We'll put it into the video for you.
Okay. So it's Steve, STEVE, at DARE, and then the numerical number 2, BE. So it's Dare2Be, just like that. And .co.za.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, and that's, yeah, I can give do you want me to give my cell phone number? I don't want.
It's up to you, my friend. It's totally up to you.
Okay, 082-339-1510.
Excellent. Now what we'll do is we'll take it, we'll put it into the comments and everything for the people. We'll put it onto the video at the end so that they can get you. And obviously your website is dare2be.co.za, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's dare2be.co.za, and it's also stevenlevy.co for some reason. Don't ask me why. That's that's my website guy's problem. And also what I'd like to do is that anyone who wants to just find out about the coaching and if it can help them, whether they go with me or not.
Yeah.
Because I want to educate people about how coaching can help them. They can set up a 45-minute complimentary discovery session with me if they're feeling stuck or need to shift to the next level, or leaders are feeling maybe at this time a bit disconnected from their teams, or vice versa.
Excellent.
And if they're looking to improve their GP, because every business owner is focused on it, it doesn't always come from the outside. You can improve it by optimizing your resource on the inside.
Excellent, man.
I'm happy to chat to people about that, and after that they can decide if they want to go with me or not.
Okay, so listeners and viewers, you need to focus on this. Steven is telling you can contact him. He'll give you a free 45-minute session with him, and you can find out if this is what you need, what coaching you need, where you need to go, what is available for you. If I'm you, I will get on the phone, get on the email, and contact him today. This is necessary. It's something that can help you. You know, if you want to move forward, you need to grow. You can only grow if you've got the right support. So contact Steven today. Details will be in here, and make sure you set up that call. Steven, we want to thank you for being on the show. It was really a true pleasure for us. I've been looking forward to this the whole week. Really, I admire your work. I admire your positivity that you've got and what you're doing and what you're offering for people. We want to say thank you. And yeah, we're going to keep a close eye on you, because your journey has just started, my friend. Like I said in the beginning, your journey has just started. It's been a true pleasure and an honor for us to have you on the show.
David, thank you so much for having me on your show. And I feel so honored that you actually invited me on it. And I know what you're doing is absolutely immense, because you set a platform for people to show up as who they are and show themselves to the world. And the world needs people like you.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And listeners, like I said, contact Steven, get in contact with him, get your free session. I know I'm going to do that. And let's just grow our businesses. And again, thank you for watching the show and tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with another awesome show. Steven, again, thank you, my friend, and we'll see you soon.